good. I believe we have some issues with the lot today with the harness.
Is he going for 2,000?
40 away. All the steps on.
Yeah, this is probably the first time you've ever seen me. Nice to meet you. I'm Jack. Yeah. First time. Yeah. Yeah. I've worked with Vince and Jordan with the like second. Yeah. Opening billboards, will those be right away, like right out of the, okay. Yeah. All right, perfect. Yeah, I will, I'll do that. I'll do these reads. I'll do this pregame show read. Pregame show brought to you by Dane. And then we'll jump right into keys to victory and all that, and a player to watch. We don't have officials or there, unfortunately. So, yeah. So we will we'll lay out if we hear them doing that. Also, I assume anthem right before the game. So, okay. Perfect. And then all these other reads, I'll just rip through after we go back to breaks and these boards. Perfect. Remind me of both first and last name. All right. Thank you, Elijah and Sam.
Whatever makes you comfortable. I'm good with whatever. There
Cool.
we go.
Sounds good. Halftime or something. Oh, introducing. Got you. Makes a ton of sense.
We're ready to rumble.
One thing I have done that's been super helpful is I'll search whatever team or specific name player and go to the.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
A lot of them, especially based high schools.
You'll get
A lot of visuals and stuff. Yeah. Even if it's not about the particular player, they'll just get something about something else.
Local journalism, man. Alive and well. Were you a journalism guy in college? Yeah. Okay, nice. Nice. That was in the deal. Really? 2019? Chicago. I'm not just going to Northwestern. You really?
On my way to college, 16 hours, but we split it up into 2 trips, 8 each way, or I should say 8 each day. And the first night, we stopped in Syracuse, New York, and we stayed the night. And the next day when we got to BC, Syracuse called and offered. And I'm like, if you would just called like 12 hours earlier, we could have
Shaking your hand, yeah. It makes sense. Who was, it wasn't Dino. It was before Dino got there. But
took the visit.
then Schaefer. Dino's first year.
We're ready to rumble.
Friday night hoops, and let's make it a rivalry doubleheader. The first of 2 is Carroll and Delphi on the girls' side. The boys' side will follow, and we've got a doozy to open us up. Carroll enters at 14-2, Delphi at 10-6. Basketball on the ISC Sports Network is brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home, proud supporters of high school athletics in Clinton and Carroll County. By Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. And by Mulberry Telecommunications and their Mintel fiber optic services, offering the best gig in town. Happy Friday, everybody. Alongside Jared Thomas, I'm Jack McMullen. Really excited for this doubleheader that we're going to bring you tonight. The girls will start just after 6 o'clock. The boys scheduled for a tentative 7:30, and this is going to be a fun matchup, and we get going right away with a couple of really high-level scorers.
There's so much that is at stake when you play basketball in the state of Indiana, on the guys' side and then on the women's side as we're starting tonight. And I know everyone is excited to watch Allie Harness. I mean, there are so many things that she brings to the table, not just as a basketball player, but as a leader, as a feisty defender. And you have to love her game because it's not just on the offensive end, but it's on the defensive end too, which is why she's headed to Western Michigan.
You were doing the tallying before we started. I mean, you're counting down the points until we get to 2,000 for her career. This is the Day and Genda Funeral Home pregame show, putting family first. Let's open with the keys to victory, sponsored by JM Marketing and their mobile charging stations, offering your business the opportunity to easily reach a wide range of local consumers at different strategic locations. Learn more at jmmarketinggroup.com. I see limit turnovers as the first point. Certainly a thing to monitor in the girls' game. And these two sides, it's kind of night and day depending on which night they actually go at it, if they turn it over a lot or if they're pretty careful with the basket.
And I think this first key to victory starts for Delphi, and that's because this year as a team they have over 300 turnovers. That's about 20 turnovers per game. But with Coach Dave Gilbert, he likes to press, but he also likes to fall back and get into transition on the offensive end, and some of the things that they do from an identity standpoint hasn't quite worked well, and they found themselves in some gauntlet of games, and they feel like they're on the upward trend of finding some favorable matchups. So we'll see what they do on the turnover side of things. And then the inside presence, it starts with Madison Wagner on the other side for Carroll. Yes, everything starts and ends with Ali Hardness, but if you get Madison Wagner involved in the game, things just get a lot easier. And then it's a rivalry game. What do you do in rivalry games? You probably wake up a little bit more, you get a little bit more excited.
Yeah, I mean, you might get up before your alarm goes off, right? Alarm for an 8 o'clock, first period is, 7 o'clock? Maybe you're up at 6:55 and you're set to go. We're going to step aside for a moment, Carroll and Delphi, when we come back.
Meet Henry. Henry is hip. Henry loves the new Mintel TV streaming app. And check out Helen. With features like Cloud DVR, Restart, and Look Back TV, Helen never misses her favorite shows. And this is Bob. Bob can't contain his excitement for the new Mintel TV streaming app. Bob is proving that you actually can teach an old dog new tricks. What do you say, Bob? Does the Mintel TV app get a thumbs up? All right, Bobby-o. Mintel TV, the next generation of awesome, upgrade today.
Former WNBA star Katie Douglas Poe is now the owner of fitness franchises that help people get healthier and more active. And even though she comes from the world of elite athletics, Katie's favorite customers are the ones pursuing modest goals. We're proud to provide her with that same kind of personal support and individual attention to her finances, which is why, when it comes to her banking, Katie is a farmer. The Farmers Bank. Let's grow.
Welcome to Trinity Hope Center. Here we are actively engaged in our recovery community with a multitude of activities including peer recovery coaching, a full computer lab, grief groups, relapse prevention, pre- and postnatal support group, educational workshops for family members with addicted loved ones, expungent workshops, parent cafes, Saturday pro-social activities, recovery walk club, book club, and even video game nights. For more information, give us a call at 765-250-1845.
Number 3, Mary Lattimore. Number 12, Sarah Perry. Number 13, Nikita Lear. 15, Peyton Morrow. Number 10, Tanya Vasquez. Number 14, Carmen McIntyre. Starters tonight for the Oracles at one guard, a 5'4" senior. Number 4, Lacey Pickering. At the other guard, a 5'8" junior. Number 20, Jenna Roth. At one forward, a 5'9" sophomore. Number 24, Abby Brown. At another forward, a 5'10" junior. Number 30, Maddie Brown. And at the last forward, a 5'9" senior. Number 32, Lexi Miller. The Oracles are coached by David Gilbert, assisted by Mercedes Rowdy, Katie Roth, and Karen Haney. Starters like the Cougars. Number
Just got the starting lineups presented by Ardente Health. Healthy smiles start here. We're just about set for the girls' game between Delphi and Carroll. Thanks a ton to Elijah Mash and Sam Wah in studio. Jack McMullen alongside Jared Thomas, ready to bring you this one. It's the girls and the boys, the Delphi Oracles and the Carroll Cougars. Again, Carroll enters at 14-2, Delphi at 10-6. Fresh 8 on the clock, just about set to go. In the middle of that blue block C, we're underway, and Carroll controls the opening tip. Allie Harness has her shot tonight, and there we go. The shots are going to go up early, and you know what? One or two may be deflected tonight, it seems.
It's always nice when you're an offensive player like Harness. You want to get going a little bit early. You see one go in at the start of the game. That helps the confidence as the game lanes on. Yep,
Lacey Pickering has the handle right now, averaging 6 points a game. Top scorer for Delphi, Jenna Roth, the junior, at 15.5. Inside, that's Lexi Miller, the senior, with the first two.
Part of what Delphi has to do, they've seen their points per game shoot down just a little bit, a little under 40 points in their 6 losses. And that's partially because they've turned the ball over so much. So if you can get into the paint, get some easy buckets, that'll help your defense go get set in half court.
Yep. Delphi coming off of a 5-point loss versus Winnemac on December 23rd. Inside, and Carroll gets the roll. That came from Madison Wagner, the senior.
It's Brady Wiles saying that anytime that Madison Wagner can get involved inside on that interior, it always helps the game plan for all of her Cougar teammates.
Hence the inside presence. I see what you're doing, man. Nostradamus. Catch and shoot in the mid-range. Book it. It was Emily Justice that put in 2, and a little 4-0 run for Carroll after the front 2 came from Miller and Delphi. Drive inside. We get a whistle and a walk. A turnover on the Oracles.
Let's go. It's a prime example for the Oracles taking advantage of semi-transition. You break down the press a little bit, you get into the open floor, and then we talk about those turnovers at the start of the game being a bit of an Achilles heel, not able to get your offense flowing. So I would like to see them clean that up as the game goes on, just because I know that's going to be a big point of emphasis.
Got a foul away from the ball that came inside. Looks like the foul goes on Delphi. They got it on Roth. So Jenna Roth, the junior, picks up a foul. And going back to that Delphi loss to Winnemac on December 23rd, this is their first game since pre-Christmas. And here we are 5 days post-New Year's. That's a long layoff, but you know, that was a game offensively. Nothing much was going for Delphi. They put up just 40 points, so hoping to maybe right the ship on the offensive side, but they've got the clamps showing on the defensive side, and they force a turnover.
Well, you know what it means when you go into a long break after a loss? Yeah. It's a lot of hard practices coming your way. And so I know Delphi is excited to get back out and put all those hard practices to work. And it's already paying dividends with the tie ball game here with a little under 2 minutes.
A hard drive to the bucket from Lacey Pickering, the senior, who had 7 points in that loss to Winnemac. 7 of the 40. She was 2 for 13 from the field. But that one flipped up and home from another big inside. It was Jamila Tillman, the senior.
Seen a little game planning by Carroll coming out with the press. Usually it's Delphi that likes to play with that up-tempo on defense with the press and then wanting to break down the defense in transition. But all that means is they're trying to create a little bit of turmoil defensively against Delphi that could create a little bit more turnovers. So all those things that we've already talked about are already at play.
Craft some chaos and see if anything comes of it. Got another turnover on a walk after a nice wraparound feed inside from Delphi. And Carroll has it in the half court. We're tied at 4. It's about 3 minutes into the ball game. This is Harness nearing 2,000 points. Deep triple off the heel. Fight for the board. Pulled down by Roth and Delphi.
She can shoot it with the best of them now. Got to pay attention to wherever Harness goes because she can definitely let it go.
From that far? Is that called in the gym range, right?
That's the Steph Curry. I guess he's coined it, and both the men's and the women's have taken heed to it because everybody's firing it from far and wide.
Dude, that might be Caitlin Clark range at this point. Did you see that buzzer beater?
Oh, man.
Oh, come on. Delphi slowing it down. Have 4.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Let's pass to a posted up Oracle in the corner, and it's taken away. Up ahead of the field, Madison Wagner running. Inside, Lainey Johnson had her shot altered, and Delphi comes away with the board. Back out for Pickering. Catch and shoot triple. Off the front, rebound and a bounce goes to Carroll. Harness inside, flips it up, can't get it home, but she will shoot two.
Almost got that and one to go.
Yep.
Part of that transition offense for any team is trying to beat the opposing team back on the offensive end, which would be for Delphi the defensive end. And it's always the point guard's responsibility to make sure you get back first. You can direct traffic from there, but Harness, being so sneaky like she is on both sides, slips back for the potential 2 free throws. Didn't want to jinx her there. That's why I took a little bit of a pause.
You're good. Good job with the beat. Allie Harness hits her front end free throw, averaging just under 21 points per game, also putting up 6 boards a game, 6 assists, shooting 24% from deep, which is a relatively high clip in high school basketball, and a 2-for-2 trip to the charity stripe for Harness, who had 18 in a win over Western last time out. That also came pre-Christmas for Carroll. Easier practices for them because they went into the holiday break with a nice win under their belt.
But maybe not, because you don't want to get too high on your britches a little bit and start to have arrogance creep in. So I know Coach Wiles has his team ready to play.
You're telling me case by case. Full court heave from Harness up to Wagner. Well, 8-footer can't go. Tapped over the baseline. Last touch, the Cougars. Delphi basketball.
The Cougars haven't been exactly quite able to take advantage of all these leak outs so far, but what I'm seeing, because they understand Delphi is going to allocate so much attention in the front court with their press, but even just their defensive focus, so many people leaking out. Go run toward the basket, we'll find you with the pass.
Catch and shoot 3 didn't go for Delphi, but a second chance after the offensive rebound. Couple dribbles into a mid-range, can't hit, and Harness has her rec specs knocked away. They're hanging around her neck. Now inside, that's Justice. Can't get it, and a foul on the way up. So for Carroll, it's going to be O'Brien shooting 2. Mallory O'Brien taking 2 free throws. And fans, tonight's game is brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home, where they believe in putting family first. As active members of the community, they know that when dealing with a loss, seeing a familiar face and being treated like family is important. Day and Genda Funeral Home will serve your family in a unique and loving way and provide the care you need. For more information about the services Day and Genda Funeral Home offers, please visit dayandgenda.com. Over the back, and we've got a turnover on Carroll. So it's Delphi ball, but the Cougars doubling up the Oracles early. We're about 5 minutes in. Overhead pass tipped away over the sideline and out of bounds. Going to take a moment to also tell you that tonight's game is brought to you by Aaron's Flooring, offering luxury vinyl plank, carpet installation, and more. Visit aaronsflooringllc.com for more information or call 765-601-4145 for a free quote. In the mid-range, a bounce pass. Post move up with the left. Delphi can't hit. Rebound yanked down by Harness, and she's running. Still going without the goggles right now. Parton, that's Wagner. And the kick over the baseline stays Carroll ball.
At this point, it's probably interchangeable for Harness and Wagner because those are the 2 figureheads for this Cougar attack and everything that they do. It starts with them. Obviously, Harness gets the thing going, and then Wagner finds her niche not too far after that. So I understand. And they both have the knee sleeves.
Yeah.
So from our vantage point, both 2 highly effective players looking the same in their impact in this game.
Triple off the iron. Now Delphi tries to respond. They can't do it. Collecting her own miss, Jenna Roth, the junior. She will take the majority of the shots. Took 15 shots. Pickering took 13. No other starter put up more than 5 shots in that loss to Winnemac on the 23rd. Inside Pickering. Flips it up. Can't get it. And Lacey Pickering going to shoot 2.
As you said, Jenna Roth is going to take the majority of the shots, which equates obviously to points when they go in. 248 points before today's game for Roth. Pickering, the one that just got to the free throw line, only 88. So that just shows you the disparity in their offense, especially with Jenna Roth being the head of the snake.
Yep. First one good. Hey, fans, a reminder to check out Healthy Communities of Clinton County. The coalition is committed to reducing the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities, by decreasing stigma and encouraging policy, system, and environmental changes. The vision of Healthy Communities is to make the healthy choice the easy choice. For more information, visit healthyclintoncounty.org. Low-scoring first quarter so far. And inside wide open on the right block. And it's Jillian Schultz putting it home. So Carroll now doubling up Delphi again, 10-5. They'll work it around the arc. Roth inside to a cutting. Oracle couldn't find Maddie Brown. And Harness running in transition.
But I like what Maddie Brown did there on that offensive possession. When the ball is on one side of the floor, find your way to the middle and provide an outlet.
Harness drops it in. She's up to 5 points, and Carroll's got 13. Delphi fought through, and you got a blocking foul here on the sideline. Something's Roth trying to make things happen, take matters into her own hand, and ends up at the sideline inbound for Delphi.
And a little bit of a stagnant offensive start for Delphi. Like I said, going back to that point, when the ball's on one side of the floor, whether it be the wing extended, top of the key, anytime it shifts to one side of the court, you like to see everyone else kind of flash to the ball, provide an outlet, especially when that defensive attention is to the ball.
Delphi holds up top. In the hands of the senior guard Pickering. Pickering into the lane. Lexi Miller has it at the free throw line. In the mid-range, Nikita Lear can't get it. A rebound by Wagner. Wagner up ahead. Harness. Spin move. She flips it up a little bit too long. Rebound pulled down by Roth, and she'll move it in transition with about 30 seconds to go in this first quarter.
Showing the arsenal of moves that she has.
Yeah. She's getting into her bag, and she's got 5 points.
Bag that she has.
Yeah, big time. Leather inside Pickering drops it in from the right block. So Pickering has 4 of Delphi's 7.
And rightfully so, with so much attention going to Jenna Roth, there has to be another contributor offensively to get some points on the board.
Might be in the hands of Harness. Get a screen left from Wagner, but Harness with 5 with a floater, can't get it. Offensive rebound, wraparound feed. We got a whistle and a kick ball with a second to go on the clock in the first quarter.
Just feels the Cougars and the Oracles are playing at 2 different speeds. The Cougars moving a little bit faster, and the Oracles kind of playing it safe, looking for the best shot, not capitalizing on second chance points. So as we go throughout this game, those opportunities that you get to score points have to be capitalized on.
It simply feels like volume versus selection at this point, and the team with volume is up by 6. Harness the inbounder with a second to go. No chance for a pass on a catch-and-shoot opportunity. They got it to Harness. It wouldn't fall anyways. After a quarter in Game 1 of our doubleheader at Carroll, Cougars have a 13-7 lead over the Oracles from Delphi.
Frankfurt Eagles 976, serving with the community since 1905. With over 900 members locally, Frankfurt Eagles offers something for everyone. Golf leagues, bingo, concerts, kid parties, cookouts, and more. For more information on who we are and what we do, visit FOE.com or stop by Frankfurt Eagles at 408 North Main Street, Frankfurt, Indiana.
At Day and Gannett Funeral Home, we know the importance of family. Being a family-owned funeral home, we pride ourselves in giving the care and love to you and your loved one as if you were part of our own family. With a compassionate staff that takes pride in fulfilling all the details to celebrate the life of your loved one in a unique and special way, you can be sure that your services will be meaningful and memorable. When you suffer loss in your family, let our family take care of your family. Day and Gannett Funeral Home, putting family first.
High school basketball on the ISC Sports Network, brought to you in part by Willow Creek Barn, voted the #1 best venue in the Midwest. Willow Creek is conveniently located outside of Frankfort, Indiana, with easy access to Lafayette, Zionsville, Noblesville, and Carmel. Their 1800s historic rustic barn is situated on 8 acres, providing an all-natural, picturesque setting for the barn wedding you have always dreamt about. The barn at Willow Creek provides an unforgettable experience for you, your family, and friends. Schedule your tour today. To learn more, visit us online at thewillowcreekbarn.com. Within that read, you got a turnover and you got Harness at the line for 2. So things got going right away in the first 16 seconds of the second quarter.
As easy as that access from the barn, the Willow Creek barn, to all of these neighboring towns in Indianapolis, that's how fast Allie Harness can get to the basket.
It's like the blink, man. You get off, 65, and then you're there. You're at Willow Creek barn. You get out of the quarter break, and Harness is at the line. So Carroll doubling up Delphi again. They lead by 7. Harness with the first free throw got up to 6 points. And the leading scorer for the Cougars is up to 7. All right, second quarter adjustments for Delphi. What do you got for them?
Well, we're watching something that I would like to see a little bit different. We see the ball in one person's hands the entire possession, and everyone just watching the ball handler. And then you get down and no one's moving. So got to increase the amount of motion that is inserted into the offense, because if not, the game could get out of hand.
And that was great in theory just then, but poor in execution, unfortunately. They had a wide open Nikita Lear inside, but she walked before she put the shot up. So a turnover. Now catch and shoot from Wagner. Her 3 is home. Wagner's up to 5 points. She's 2 shy of the game high, and Harness with 7. Inside, Roth drove the lane, couldn't get it to go, and Harness pushing the pace. Wagner to his right, she feeds left, and the lefty layup won't go. Offensive rebound, Wagner. That shot blocked by Lear. Lear's got it tied up between 2, and a reach-in call comes against Tillman in white.
It probably feels like she had to make up for when she started running before she could lay it up with the left hand down on the easy finish, but great hustle to get down on the other end and secure that rebound.
Yep. Got Roth, a soft full-court press put on by Carroll, but Roth breaks it by her lonesome, and she walked when she picked up the dribble. So another quick turnover, and that key to the game that you highlighted off the top, limiting turnovers, it seems like Carroll has done a good job of it. Delphi, they're feeling the heat, it seems, in the early going.
And it's everyone on the team. Everyone has that 20 to 30 turnover range, and even the top turnover margin starts with Jenna Roth, and she has 76, and she has to find a way to limit those turnovers, especially with so much responsibility being placed on her shoulders.
Harness off the bounce, couldn't find the 3, and she tried to save it from the baseline, couldn't do that. So it is Delphi ball with 6.5 to go in the opening half. The boys' game will follow between Delphi and Carroll. You got the county rivalry. Carroll hosting this round. Both in the Hoosier Heartland. Delphi enters at 3-1 on the girls' side. Carroll, again, 14-2 overall. Perfect 4-0 in conference play. Pickering, her mid-range J won't go, and the rebound pulled down by Wagner. Long pass with one hand makes its way to the mid-range right. Laney Johnson can't get it to go. Rebound falls to Harness. She may look to create. Nope, catch and shoot Johnson in the corner. Off the front of the rim, rebound pulled down by Roth.
As we come down to this offensive possession, notice how all the attention for this Cougar defense is to the perimeter. They're not going past the three-point line, and there's no real motion toward that paint area. And so you're just leaving this open void, and everyone's on the perimeter, so their offense feels like it's a little bit crowded. And that's why they haven't been able to generate any type of points, but then also those turnovers that you said that just have compiled to start this game.
Pickering taking some air out of the orange before bouncing a feed over to the front court right. That ball kicked near the sideline, out of bounds, stays Delphi ball.
And all of the small things, anytime you're going to set a screen, actually have to make contact with the defender. When you're going to cut, give a little bit of a misdirection or get into the defender's body so you can create some separation. All those little things help those turnovers to be mitigated a bit.
Wagner gets a breather. She's going to grab a towel and take a seat. Salt's back into the game. Inside, not a player we've seen many shots go up from, Brown, but she flips it home for 2. So Maddie Brown, the junior, averaging about 6.5 per game, is on the board with points 2 and 3 after a made free throw. 1 for 2 trip, and there's a turnover by Carroll. Uncharacteristic so far in the second quarter. Brown inside to Lear. Brown was trying to ID a shooter, but we got a walk. Annie Brown was chopping her feet.
Oh, getting excited before you can actually quite make a decision. You see it in your brain and you can visualize it right before you make it, but then those feet start moving a little bit too much and have to get those under control. That's happened now 2 times for the Oracles.
It's all about intent with every movement. Catch and shoot, free throw line jumper, home from Tillman. Carroll first to 20 by 11, and Tillman has points 3 and 4 on her night. Friday night hoops in Flora, Carroll and Delphi. The Oracles, that's Peyton Morrow, the freshman, getting a lot of run at the varsity level this year. Inside Roth, and the team's leading scorer puts it home.
All right there in the paint. We saw Maddie Brown get into the paint with a backdoor cut, and then Roth follows suit with the same thing. That offensive execution is there. They just have to take advantage of it with limiting the turnovers.
Harness goes behind the back and then flips it up from the free throw line. The floater found Twine, and Carroll up 11. Harness up to 9. Now Pickering got the baseline. She lost the handle. I think she was thinking, feed it to Roth. She wanted fastball. She ended up throwing a changeup, and it just kind of died on the baseline.
But that thinking was a little bit clouded because of the defensive pressure by Harness.
Yep.
We talk about her offensive prowess, but it's really her defensive mentality that leads to plays like we just saw.
Catch and shoot, catapult 3 won't go, but the offensive rebound falls back to Carroll. This is Saltz trying to get the baseline on Lear. She couldn't do it. Harness at the elbow collects. Right elbow, fall away jumper, no good. Rebound fought for, not won by Tillman, but it does stay Cougar ball.
Harness very spry and bouncy in all of her movements, and the jump shots and the dribble combinations that she has going between the legs, behind the back, have to be on your P's and Q's anytime you're the defender against Harness, because you never know what she's got.
I've always loved P's and Q's. Catch and shoot on the wing. That 3 is down for Carroll. It was Emily Justice, the junior, averaging just 3 points per game, but Justice has her 5th points now. And a quick turnover. Here goes Harness. And we got a jump ball, a tie-up. Possession arrow does point the Cougars' way.
Gotta love those rivalry games when you can hear all of those fan engagements from everyone that's just so adamant about the calls that should be made, the plays that should be run. I mean, that's the true tale of a rivalry.
You know, everybody's an official, by the way.
Exactly.
Sure, you had that, right? Growing up a
man.
football player. I mean, how many people could you hear saying, I saw a hold on the left side? Were you a guard, tackle?
I played everything.
Everything. But you were holding every play, according to the other kids' parents, right?
It's amazing that all of the experts aren't actually on the sideline, but they're in the stands.
Yeah, bingo. In the corner, triple up, a little bit too long. Offensive rebound is Saltz and Carroll. That one tipped. Harness goes to those leg sleeves to try and fish it out, and we've got a foul. Roth went banging into Harness. It's going to stay Carroll ball.
But credit must be extended to Harness. That was a smart play. I think she dove with just her knees to try and prevent that contact with the Delphi going for the ball. Instead, she still picked up the foul, but a noble effort just trying to stay out of the way and not pick up the foul like she did.
Yep. So Lacey Pickering going to walk it across the midcourt marker with just about 2 minutes to go in the first half between Carroll and Delphi. Girls game first, boys game to follow. Inside, Maddie Brown went face up, couldn't get it. Offensive rebound, shot blocked away by Wagner. But Miller still going for it. We got a tie-up and a jump ball. The arrow pointing Delphi's way. Hey fans, let us be the first to welcome you to the Fiberhood. Mintel Fiber Optic Services offers super fast, reliable internet with gigabit speeds, streaming TV packages, and voice solutions. Sign up today at www.mintel.net. That's MINTEL.net, or call 765-296-2885 for more information. Couple of empty possessions for both Carroll and Delphi as the clock ticks to about 90 seconds to go in the first half. So a quarter of the way through our Friday night hoops. When thrown off the lower half of Lainey Johnson, the senior. And that brings it a 30-second timeout. All right, 88 seconds until the half closes. Give me a key to the last 88 seconds for Carroll and then for Delphi.
Delphi cannot turn the ball over anymore. It's crippling them, and they haven't been able to even get shots up to create another layer of offense, which is offensive rebounding. And then for Carroll, they just have to continue to put the foot on the gas. They were a little bit sporadic to start the game. I think they've settled in nicely, so now just have to be a little bit cleaner in transition, get some more easy buckets.
Harness is leading all scorers with 9. I've got Wagner and Justice with 5 apiece for Carroll. On the Delphi side, Lacey Pickering has 4. She's leading those scorers. Harness first out of the huddle.
Indiana All-Star last year.
Yep.
First one for Carroll since 1977.
The bespectacled Allie Harness, back in the rec specs. Pickering can take all the time she needs. Screen left from Roth. Inside for Brown, back out. Catch and shoot Roth. Her 3 won't go. Rebound by Wagner. Wagner hoists up ahead. Justice into the mid-range. Can't get the bounce. Offensive rebound. Second chance, no. And with a minute to go in the half, Roth going to run it up the floor before passing off to Pickering. Her 3 won't go. Rebound Carroll. Harness throws up ahead of the field to Wagner. Eyes always up. Wagner was trapped for a moment. She throws it into a sea of oracles, and Delphi comes away with it. Now a trap near midcourt. And what do we got? A foul on Wagner. Looked like both of her hands were straight up in the air, no?
Might have got her just right as she was reaching in. Official caught her before she got her hands up in the air.
The inbound makes its way to Pickering. Roth open on the wing. Her 3 is down. Roth up to 5 points. It cuts the deficit to 11 for Delphi. Johnson on the rebuttal. Can't get it. Offensive rebound. Wagner goes up, and she was fouled by Roth. So with 17 seconds to go in the first half, Wagner going to shoot 2.
It's just a tale of 2 possessions. Roth does a nice job finding the open lane on the Iverson cut, getting the wide open 3, and then on the rebound, she's just looking for the ball instead of finding the offensive player to go box out. And that's exactly how Wagner was able to get that offensive rebound and get to the free throw line.
Preaching the fundamentals, man. Look at you. You got Wagner making the front end. And the second. Good. Wagner up to 7. Harness at 9. Quick addition, that's 16 of Carroll's 27 points coming from their 2 leading scorers entering this one.
It's Allie Harness, it's Madison Wagner, and it's Lacey Johnson. That's the 3-headed snake for the Cougars. So if those players can get going, it just boosts the confidence of everyone else.
With under 10, Roth walked. So Carroll going to get a chance to go quickly with 7.5 to go.
And this game started with Madison Wagner getting involved early. That's a lot of attention to the paint. She's not going to wow you with her 3-point shooting range because likely she's not going to shoot that many of them. But she is going to draw that defensive attention when she goes into the paint. When she gets busy early, that just opens it up for everyone else, especially when you have an Indiana All-Star like Harness on the perimeter ready to take that open shot.
Harness might be the one that takes it at the end of the first half. Allie Harness into the mid-range, gets it to go. Buzzer sounds, and that's the last bucket we see in this opening half in Flora. Harness up to 11 points, and Carroll's got a 15-point lead, 29-14 over Delphi here on the ISC Sports Network.
Davis Comfort Solutions.
At Davis Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling, the name says it all. Davis Comfort Solutions will keep you comfortable all season long with 2 locations, Fowler and Colfax. They service most of central Indiana.
We've got the Air necessities, great service and efficiencies, bringing peace and comfort to your life.
DavisComfortSolutions.com.
Colleges and universities are always actively looking for highly targeted and effective ways of reaching high school students and their families. Imagine your informational message being displayed in full color on courtesy charging stations placed throughout the high schools of your choice. Our mobile charging stations provide your college or university with a continuous flow of traffic to those who benefit from your message the most. High traffic areas like the cafeteria, commons, multimedia rooms, and concessions make the perfect places to reach a receptive and captive audience. Advertise to your alumni of tomorrow by getting plugged in today. At JM Marketing, your audience awaits.
Rondell Sims is a successful entrepreneur and beloved grandpa, in part because he's responsive and attentive. That also just happens to be what he looks for in a financial partner. And when it comes to his bank, Rondell is a farmer.
Some see a student athlete working on a shot. We see a powerful lesson in persistence. Some see a student preparing for success on an exam. We see a student athlete preparing for success in life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
Frankfurt Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
I brought you a present. A book.
Follow the adventures of the Ardente Dental team as they fight cavities, gum disease, and create beautiful, healthy smiles.
Inconceivable. Hello, my name is Dr. Snyder. You cause cavities. Prepare to die. Inconceivable. To make your smile look straight and fine, our braces per month are just $1.99. Inconceivable.
You keep using that word, I do not think it means what you think it means.
Have fun at Ardente Dental.
Halftime here on the ISC Sports Network. It's Delphi and Carroll with the Cougars leading the Oracles 29-14. The halftime show is brought to you by Mintel Fiber Optic Services, powered by Mulberry Telecommunications. Now offering fiber internet, streaming TV, and telephone solutions to Flora, Bringhurst, and Cutler. Mulberry Telecommunications is a proud corporate sponsor of Carroll Athletics. With Jared Thomas, I'm Jack McMullen. Jared, just opening thoughts on this front half of play. I think the two people that you circle on Carroll's side, Harness and Wagner, they were really the story of this one offensively, but what were you kind of noticing outside of those two?
It's the defensive presence being extended into the backcourt, going into a little bit of a press, understanding that the team that you're playing has a tendency to turn the ball over. It's almost a broken record at this point that we've touched on it so much. But when you have the ability to press, create turnovers, and then get it to Harness and Wagner, you're usually in good positions against any team. And that's why you see this Cougar team at 14-2 playing so well to start this first half.
It makes perfect sense. And Delphi, on the other hand, they are 10-6. They're 3-1 in conference play. You saw it at the end of the second quarter. They started to get those open shots. Hopefully it's just a matter of those falling.
And when you look at Delphi and you look at Coach Gilbert, all of the things that he wanted to implement, I mean, this is their fourth coach in 4 years.
Yes.
He wanted to be that plank of stability that the team can fall back on. And a lot of times when you do these overhauls, you need an identity. And that identity for them was to press and then get in transition. We saw them playing it safe offensively, not really pushing the ball. But as you said, that little glimmer that we saw at the end, they started to pick up the tempo a little bit.
And all you need is a glimmer at the end of the first half, right? You
That's
take it at halftime, you rile up your team, and you get set to go in this third quarter. And you know what? A 10-win season before the calendar flips to 2024 is great to hang your hat on as a first-year head coach. And they're looking sharper as the game goes on. We're going to take another break. It's Carroll up by 15 on Delphi at the half.
Davis Comfort Solutions.
At Davis Comfort Solutions Heating and Cooling, the name says it all. Davis Comfort Solutions will keep you comfortable all season long with 2 locations, Fowler and Colfax. They service most of central Indiana.
We've got the air necessities, great service and efficiencies, bringing peace and comfort to your life.
DavisComfortSolutions.com.
Healthy Communities of Clinton County is committed to reduce the risk factors contributing to chronic disease, including health disparities by decreasing stigma and encouraging positive changes. HCCC is here for the community with systems of care navigators, entrance assistance, prenatal classes, mental health programs, substance use prevention, and more. To help make the healthy choice the easy choice, contact us at 659-6063 or through our website, healthyclintoncounty.org.
Many communities in rural America are often overlooked as underserved. These communities are being left behind due to lack of internet and access to state-of-the-art technology. That's why Mulberry Telecommunications provides rural broadband services and technology and is growing their presence in north central Indiana. Because every community deserves infrastructure and beyond. To learn more, contact us today.
Mintel Fiber Optic halftime show here on the ISC Sports Network. Carroll up by 15 on Delphi. Taking a look at some of our Mintel Fiber Fast highlights from this one in Flora so far. It was an early start for Delphi, but after that, Carroll really started to make their presence felt on the offensive side of the floor.
Lexi Miller getting into the paint, getting a nice, easy finish to start the game, but then they got away from it. And that's exactly when Harness and all of her teammates, as we see Wagner driving baseline, finding the open shooter to knock down the mid-range, that's when they started to probe a little bit, starting to get in rhythm. They play at such a faster tempo than most teams, and so they probably err knowing that they're going to get a lot more possessions just based off of how fast they play, and we've seen that in effect in that first half.
Hey, listen, you know it as a football guy, right? It's time of possession and it's number of possessions. The Chip Kelly Oregon football mantra was, let's get as many possessions under his belt as possible. We're okay with our defense being cardiovascularly strong if our offense is scoring quickly for them, and that's exactly what Carroll was doing.
And somewhere along the line, when we talk about sports and how many possessions you get, it almost became like a revelation to so many people. Yeah. Like, wow, we can actually score more points if we create more possessions.
Right.
It's like, man, who drew that up? But that's exactly what sports is all about. And in basketball, it's a little bit different, especially at the high school level when you don't have a shot clock. So there's nothing controlling how long you can keep the ball, but still you want to score points, and you can kind of inflict your identity as a team when you can create turnovers, get out in transition, run fast, shoot it well, and just do all the little things to contribute to wins and your success.
Yep, defense really reared its head in the early going, but the open shots started to find themselves for both Delphi and Carroll, and it's really stemmed from ball movement, but this was Harness at the end of the half. Allie Harness leading all scorers with 11 points. It's Carroll up by 15 on Delphi. You've been watching the Mintel Fiber Optic Services halftime show powered by Mulberry Telecommunications, providing you with the best gig in town. Second half next on the ISC Sports Network.
At Day and Gannett Funeral Home, we know the importance of family. Being a family-owned funeral home, we pride ourselves in giving the care and love to you and your loved one as if you were part of our own family. With a compassionate staff that takes pride in fulfilling all the details to celebrate the life of your loved one in a unique and special way, you can be sure that your services will be meaningful and memorable. When you suffer loss in your family, let our family take care of your family. Day and Gannett Funeral Home, putting family first.
Former WNBA star Katie Douglas Poe is now the owner of fitness franchises that help people get healthier and more active. And even though she comes from the world of elite athletics, Katie's favorite customers are the ones pursuing modest goals. We're proud to provide her with that same kind of personal support and individual attention to her finances, which is why, when it comes to her banking, Katie is a farmer. The Farmers Bank. Let's grow.
As a healthcare facility, providing top-notch care should be your number one goal. However, patient experience and overall satisfaction should be a top priority as well. You see, in addition to your patients, you also have an obligation to the family and friends who attend appointments, sit for hours in waiting rooms, or spend days at your facility awaiting a loved one to be discharged. The last thing that they want or need to be concerned about is how or where to charge their cell phone, tablet, or smart device when trying to keep loved ones up to date. This is where JM Marketing comes in. Our full
For the third quarter between Carroll and Delphi, 15-point advantage for the Cougars over the Oracles. And Allie Harness, who led all scorers with her 11 first-half points, going to walk it across the timeline to get things going for Carroll. Inside right away, Johnson walked before she started to make her way downhill, so an early turnover on Carroll.
It's that game within the game. This is the first opportunity for Delphi to come back after Carroll turns it over and make something happen on the offensive end of the floor, because it's going to just help them in the flow for the rest of the game.
Yep, 15 seconds. We already have 2 second-half turnovers, one on Carroll, and that one on Delphi's. Pickering just put a maybe her big toe on the sideline, and that was it.
It's that coffin corner. It doesn't matter if it's half court extended or even down on the baseline. You get into the corners of the court, it's always going to present you some problems.
Yep. Harness straight away, playing hot potato, and the 3 no good. Offensive rebound, though, by Wagner, who was in the perfect spot, and the left block layup is home. So Carroll north of 30.
7
Wagner
rebounds
up to
per
9.
game. 7 rebounds per game for Wagner. 117 before the start of today's game. She's going to find, those are easy buckets on the offensive end, and then when you're on the defensive end, to get your offense started.
Roth with an 0 for 2 trip, and she was slow off the hardwood, but it is Carroll ball. Roth has been taking a beating because she's been going inside so often.
It's a majority of a perimeter team.
Yep.
They want to attack from the outside, which is why you can kind of help with that when you get in transition, but not able to do so consistently in tonight's contest.
Yep. And Roth is, the interior scorer for Delphi. As Johnson, her shot was blocked, and Wagner taps it back to herself. Fresh look for Carroll. The elbow jumper, no good. Rebound near the sideline. Bodies flying to the deck, and it's picked up by the Cougars. Wagner has it. Right-handed drive inside. Tillman drops it in for 2. Tillman up to 6 points. Going back to Delphi and Roth, as her shot altered again. She was fouled, so she'll go to the line for 2. Roth is the main interior scorer for Delphi, and she'll do that by driving and cutting to the bucket, averaging 15.5 per game. In that loss against Winnemac on the 23rd, Roth had 15 field goal attempts, 7 were from beyond the arc, so 8 came inside. Pickering, the other marquee scorer for Delphi, put up 13 shots, but 12 of them were from beyond the arc. So, if someone's going to go inside, especially isolated, it seems to be Jenna Roth.
There has to be a stabilizer in all of those statistics that you just mentioned. If you have a field goal percentage, 2 points or even 3 points, those 3-pointers are going to be contributed to the overall field goal percentage. And they don't shoot a very high percentage when we're just talking about field goals. And that's exactly why there's a lot of 3-pointers going up. And when you couple that with all the struggles they have turning the ball over and then creating open shots for opposing teams, it presents a bit of a conundrum when you're trying to find offensive rhythm.
Speaking of field goal percentage, Tillman is up to a pretty high clip now. She's got 8 points, I believe, on 4 shots. That warrants a timeout from Delphi here. We're about a minute and a half into this third quarter, and Carroll extends the lead to 21. Fans, tonight's game is brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home, where they believe in putting family first. As active members of the community, they know that when dealing with a loss, seeing a familiar face and being treated like family is important. Day and Genda Funeral Home will serve your family in a unique and loving way and provide the care you need. For more information about the services Day and Genda Funeral Home offers, please visit dayandgenda.com. dayandgenda.com. Go back to that 3-point field goal. Mark, you were talking about. I was talking to Brady Sallee, who's the head coach at Ball State. By the way, amazing team, one of the best women's college basketball teams in the mid-major level this year, led by Brownsburg alum Allie Becky. But Brady, he kind of adjusted his offensive philosophy a couple of years ago, and he said, listen, I realized it was much easier to count up by 3s than it is by 2s. Having said that, the percentage drops the farther you get away from the bucket. So it's just a big game of give and take.
There's a couple things I like what you said in the story that you just shared, but a lot of coaches, especially when we transition from old school to new school, have a hard time adjusting.
Yeah.
And when you think about basketball of old, it's let's get post-ups, let's get paint touches, let's get inside, and then work to the outside. And those outside points might not have even been threes back in the day. But then when you play the percentages, although there's a lot more three-pointers being shot, you still have to find a way to get easy buckets. It doesn't have to be mid-range, but it does have to be easy. So free throws or layups, and that's the inside scoring that you'll have for a team that predominantly shoots a lot of threes.
In transition, Harness gets up to 13. That was a long two. In the mid-range game, which is all but gone, paging DeMar DeRozan, but that's about it.
An art form.
An art form. Harness inside again, feeds the right block, and Schultz puts it in for two. Her first two of the night. Carroll starting to run away. Cross-court pass, wing three, Roth. That swirls down. So Roth up to 8 points. She was scoreless in the first quarter and a half of this one. Tipped out of bounds, it stays Carroll ball.
Coming down in on the offensive side right there for Delphi, all the defenders were almost at half court. And all the offensive players for Delphi, the Oracles, are in the backcourt, not really providing an outlet. We talked about it in the first half, but those are just small things as the season goes on that you would look to correct to present more opportunities to score more points.
Three rattles home for Emily Justice. And again, just pouring it on. Justice up to 8 points. So Harness with 13. Wagner's got 9. Tillman and Justice have 8 apiece. And there's a response from Delphi. But up ahead, Schultz again. She's settling in. She drops it home, and the foul. So Schultz up to 4. She's shooting for 5. And Carroll is up 44-19.
All of those points they weren't able to convert in the first half. Now all of the points that we're seeing now for their offense to kind of get going and extend this lead from 15 now up to 26.
It takes a bit to settle into the flow of games. You know, when you're kind of scanning on just point totals, on scoring totals, the number in the second half almost always higher than the first half. And I think that's apparent just because of the way basketball works. You get loose, you get limbered up, and you start to see the ball go through the net, and you say, I can do that again. I just have to feel that again. Roth, her 3, no good. Rebound tapped, falls to Schultz at the free throw line. Hand off to Harness. She may be looking to distribute at this point in the game. Justice thought about it. Wagner nearly had it poked away. It is ripped away by Delphi. Pickering up ahead to Jenna Roth, and Roth has 10.
Roth starting to assert herself a little bit on the offensive end of the floor for the Oracles.
Justice, air ball. Rebound Roth. Inside off the top of the backboard. And that's Carroll ball. Start to see the boys trickle in. First for Delphi.
I think there's some respect from the Oracle women's head coach and Dave Gilbert, understanding he probably didn't want to get into a track meet with a track team like the Carroll Cougars, because you have so much firepower on their offensive side. And as soon as you start trying to run fast with a team that already moves at a higher frequency, you might get yourself in a game like this. But since we're already here, why not get back to what you do on a game-to-game basis?
Yep, after the long 3 didn't fall for Harness, O'Brien put up the second chance, and O'Brien going to be shooting 2. Hey, fans, imagine your informational message being displayed in full color on charging stations in a public setting with a continuous flow of traffic. At JM Marketing, our charging stations have the advertising impact of a highway billboard at a fraction of the cost. Deliver your message to a captive audience that is relaxed, receptive, and ready to respond. For more information, visit jmmarketinggroup.com and get plugged in today. 24-point game. Carroll on top of Delphi with about 3 minutes to go in this third quarter of action. Ball was tiptoeing near the midcourt line, and that one Poked away. Delphi's got it. Free throw line J was altered from Harness, and Roth has the ball. Roth driving down the lane. She just flings it up. She'll shoot 2.
DIY. Just do it yourself.
Yeah. BYOS, bring your own shot.
We got all the acronyms going. Roth understands at this point, I might as well just get loose a little bit, start to throw my weight around, because her team struggled a little bit in the first half offensively, and she's that equalizer when it comes to their offensive output.
And maybe next step in the maturation for the junior Roth is seeing that the triple team is kind of falling on her as she drives down the right side of the lane and kick into the corner for an open player, kick to the wing, that kind of thing.
And it's coupled. She has to make the right play, but her teammates have to be ready to also capitalize when they do get their opportunities. And that's when a team starts to take off, when everyone can fill in and play off of each other.
Harness asking for a screen, gets one on the left from Tillman. Salts to Johnson. Threaded her way through 2, and the floater no good. She pokes it away, though. Is grabbed by Tillman, and right to Johnson. She's fouled on the way up, so Laney Johnson going to shoot 2.
It's just second and third and fourth opportunities at some point in time, as we talk about percentages and whether we shoot 3s or 2-pointers. Eventually, when you give a team so many opportunities, those opportunities are they're gonna turn green in as far as success rate.
Yep.
That's what we're seeing from this Carroll team, getting multiple offensive rebounds, and at some point in time, it's either an easy bucket or a free throw line trip.
Yep. And chances are, when you start to creep into the second, third, fourth chances of a possession, those are coming from closer and closer. You never really see them back up. Second chance almost always point-blank range, as is the third and fourth. 1 for 2 trip to the stripe, and that one missed the rim, so it is a dead ball, and Delphi going to inbound down 24. Carroll entered this one coming off a win pre-Christmas. Delphi a 5-point loss pre-Christmas. Carroll active tomorrow, as is Delphi.
Allie Harness is probably looked at when teams are game planning her as a combo guard, someone that can do it all, but she's going to go to the next level, play for Western Michigan, and probably start out as a sharpshooter. And that's one thing that Coach Lyles talks about for his senior all-star, that because she brings so much to the game as a combo guard, when she turns into a shooter, finding your role as a young player in an offense like Western Michigan, you will add so much more value because you understand that I can shoot it, but when my times come, I can also create off the dribble.
Yep. She'll be playing for Shane Klipfel at Western Michigan and Kalamazoo. Good Italian restaurant I would go to with Ball State women's basketball. Made a trip with the men too. We always went to the same Italian restaurant. Ask me what the name is.
What's the name of that?
I've got no idea. No idea.
Creatures of habit, though. The same restaurant. It's like in college, we would always have the same pregame meal, no matter where we were.
What was it?
It was steak. It was salmon. It was clam chowder. It was great.
Yeah, that's Big Ten football eating for you.
The quality of it, depending on where we were, wasn't always at the top of the food chain.
Gotcha, yeah.
But the meal was very consistent.
Yeah, the lobster in Lincoln, Nebraska, I may leave a bit to be desired.
I wasn't going to say it, but you took it right out of me.
I'm sure.
You took it from me.
I just think Big Ten lobster in Lincoln is the one that kind of scares me. 26-point lead for Carroll with just over a minute to go in the third quarter. And Pickering handling with a left-handed dribble. Roth inside to a cutting Pickering. Back out Brown in the mid-range, and Miller's got it. Getting something set up right now, and the ball is moving. Let's touch off Brown over the baseline. I like the ball movement there. It seemed like everybody needed a touch, and it was working its way from left to right, in and out.
More than we saw in the first half. Both teams operating in that fluidness that we all like to see, the fluidity throughout the course of a game. When everyone is settled in, the nerves, okay, I'm good. I've settled into the game, but unfortunately, down 26, that's kind of hard to do this late in the game.
Yep. Got Harness feeding Johnson. Free throw line, Wagner. Inside Tillman, tapped away, still Cougar basketball. This game follows between Carroll and Delphi. Two teams above 500 in this one. One team below 500 in the next one. Carroll is 6-3. Delphi is 2-8. That one flipped home by Carroll. And it looks like the Cougars girls team under Brady Wiles is going to advance to 15-2 and a perfect 5-0 in conference play as Roth walked on her way to the bucket.
Usually, when you're a head coach or any type of coach at the high school level, you're some level of a teacher.
Yeah.
But for Wiles, he's part of the emergency medical services in their county.
How about that? All right.
And was just promoted not too long ago as a director. So he's now having to grapple with, do I stay, do I go? Because my level of responsibility off the court has picked up.
Right, but this may be his escape, right? This could be, the fun thing that he does on the side, and he may love teaching and coaching. So walk up top for Johnson. That's so cool. So I guess teaching the game of basketball is his night job, and then really saving lives is the day job. Sounds like a productive guy. What am I doing?
Director of Cass County Emergency Medical Services, flight paramedic, and also the EMS training instructor.
Wow.
So he knows something about basketball, but man, does he know something about saving lives.
Good for Brady. The mid-range, Delphi, again, nice ball movement, and it ends with Roth on the right block.
This is one of those games when you go back and watch the tape, see what you did well as a team, you turn on that second half, the end of that second quarter and the second half. That's what the confidence you want to inflict into your team, because they did some good things, although the score doesn't show that.
Yep. Carroll couldn't get it to fall. It made its way inside for Tillman, and Carroll doubling up Delphi, the end of 3. 52-26 on the ISC Sports Network.
Still on his feet. Stevens lunges. Are you kidding me?
Champions of Marion County. Unbelievable.
Touchdown.
Living up to that last day. Wabash has the lead for the first time today. So that was going to be a highlight reel. Oh, baby.
Yeah, you can celebrate after that.
Frankfurt Eagles 976 has bingo every Wednesday night. Early birds beginning at 6 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 7 p.m. Packets are $25 and includes every game you need to play. They also have Saturday bingo the first Saturday of every month, with early birds starting at 4 p.m. and regular bingo starting at 5 p.m. Big game payouts each game with 3 to 4 chances to win different jackpot games each day. Great for individuals or groups because everyone enjoys winning lots of money. You must be 18 years or older to play.
Start of the fourth quarter here in Flora between Carroll and Delphi. Girls game got 8 minutes to go. You got the boys game to follow. Even about a 7:30 projected tip time for the boys. Carroll boys team enters at 6-3. You got Delphi entering at 2-8. Delphi girls side 10-6. They're 3-1 in conference play. Carroll 14-2. Perfect 4-0 in the Hoosier Heartland. And Jenna Roth, the right wing 3, won't go. Rebound to Allie Harness, who has played a heck of a game so far, as has Wagner, who's got it met by 2 on the baseline. She can't get it out. Did she step on the baseline? No, we got a timeout from Carroll and Brady Wiles before that turnover. So this will be a quick timeout for the Cougars and gives us a chance to tell you about Ardente Dental. Ardente Dental offers high-tech dentistry with a personal touch. Whether you're a brand new patient or have been with us for years, we're here to serve you. Give us a call at 765-654-7222 or visit us online at ardentedental.com. Ardente Dental, we bring smiles to life. So Allie Harness leading all scorers with 15 points. She's going to be the baseline inbounder. Got Wagner with 9, Justice with 8, Tillman with 8 as well. Scoring barrage for Carroll. Wagner inside for Tillman, and she's into double figures.
It's always nice for the stat book when you look back and you're perfect from the field off of becoming the beneficiary of so many great passes and easy finishes at the rim.
I mean, it seems like she has just been standing on the right block waiting for the delivery.
It's
Easy
all about
peasy.
right place, right time.
Bingo. And she has been there 5 times, and she's converted 5 times. Pickering. We got Roth on the right wing. Roth has been the hot hand in the second half for Delphi. Brown thought about maybe hoisting, but instead it goes to Miller. Inside, posted up Maddie Brown, and it's ripped away by Tillman. Harness driving down the floor, backs it out. She lost the handle for a moment. Inside, Tillman, contested layup. That's in. When it's your night, it's your night. And Tillman up to a dozen.
Just throw it up there and trust that it's going to go in.
Sure.
You've already done it 5 other times.
Yeah, but there wasn't a hand in her face the first 5. The 6, let's up the difficulty a little bit.
It's like my high school coach used to say, when we're talking about defense in basketball, as soon as you let someone get an open shot in the first quarter, the ones when you contest later on are going to go in because they've already established that rhythm.
Harness drops it home. Count the harm, 2. Allie Harness to the line for one more. There's the difficulty being up.
Allie making me look good. She started the game being super aggressive, getting some shots up. Like you said, getting that feel for the game, and it's paying off, already up to 17 for the game.
58-26. Carroll's got the lead over Delphi with about 6 minutes to go in this one. Harness with a deep breath, and the free throw pure. And now she's up to 18 points. Carroll defense still providing a little bit of pressure. We've got a blocking foul. Goes against Wagner.
One thing I love about Harness's game is she's always under control. She moves very quickly, but she's never out of sorts. She's never over her skis. She's very under control. She may turn the ball over, but that's just decision making. That's not tempo, and that's what you love to see from your star player.
Isn't that literally the definition of her last name? If you're going to harness anything, your last name can be harnessed too. Right, that one flipped up and home by Brown.
And then you harness it from deep. I mean, she's just got to go in at every phase of the court.
It's just too easy. Too easy. Harness can't hit. Off the right side, offensive rebound. Tillman won't get that one to go, but that doesn't count against her impeccable record from the floor. She's still perfect from the field, and Tillman going to shoot 2 at the stripe. Great game so far from Jamila Tillman, the senior, averaging 4 points per game. She's shooting for points 13 and 14 today, so certainly a name to consider when it comes to the JM Marketing Group Player of the Game. We shall see which direction Jared Thomas wants to go. First free throw, off right.
It's the ultimate team sport. Anytime you have a collective group of individuals forging ahead for the same common goal, and for Tillman, being ready when your number is called. Sometimes it's not points, but sometimes it is. And she's made it look like the decision was right for her to get this start tonight and capitalize on all the opportunities at the rim, getting to the free throw line there.
0 for 2 trip to the stripe for Tillman. And Roth driving the lane. She gets it home.
Very nice stutter step, looks the defense off. Low dribble with a nice kiss off the glass.
Roth up to 16 points. Tillman, that's a missed field goal, and she just kind of throws it up like she's competing in a halftime contest. Trying to put it home, she couldn't get it to go, and a timeout from Carroll. Hey fans, we want to thank Healthy Communities of Clinton County. We want to thank our friends at Healthy Communities of Clinton County, where they want you to know recovery is possible. If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, reach out to Healthy Communities at 659-6063 or at www.healthyclintoncounty.org. Allie Harness still leading all scorers with 18 points. Jenna Roth does have 16 for Carroll. She's got 16 of the Oracle's 30. Pardon, Jenna Roth for Delphi.
Most of that damage being done here in the second half.
Yeah, she was scoreless for the first about 12 minutes of the game, and then the final 2 minutes is she got on the board in the first half. A lot in the third and fourth quarter. And second chance good from Justice.
That maturation you talked about with Roth taking that next step, I think she showed the step that she has completed today. She allowed her teammates to get involved early, saw that they weren't getting it done, and then said, I'll take it from here, and it showed the repertoire of weapons that she has in her offensive game.
Yep, Roth up to 18, and you got a foul there. Brown hit with the infraction on Tillman, who was going up. So Jamila Tillman to the line for 2 more after going 0 for 2 just moments ago. First free throw. Got it. Look of the night may go to the fella in the blazer with the video camera resting on his right shoulder on the baseline. See that by the entry door?
Yes, I do.
Dress for success. Get good shots tonight.
Got to look good while you're doing it.
2 for 2 trip to the stripe. It's a 31-point game. The Cougars lead the Oracles. Roth inside, jump step. She was fouled on her way to the bucket. So Justice commits the foul, and Roth going to shoot 2.
Both sides getting some favorable whistles from the officials.
Yeah, it's getting a little stop and starting in this fourth quarter.
Is.
I got 7:11 on my clock. Again, we're expecting a 7:30-ish tip-off between Carroll and Delphi on the boys' side after this one.
That ish is huge. As you said, stop and starty.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of flexibility that could come with that start time for the next game for the guys.
That could push to 40. That could be as soon as 27. Who knows? Harness. There's a reach in on Pickering.
Would you believe that just a couple of years ago in the sectional final game that Carroll was able to win? Harness played against Pioneer. Harness played that game with 2 fractured wrists, essentially broken, and was still able to pour in 17 points.
How do you exist with 2 fractured wrists,
ask her.
let alone play basketball?
That's just flat out impressive.
She chucks it up and nails it, but there were whistles before that shot went in. Yep, that's whistle dead. Pickering, I think, got a hand to the face, and she is she's bent over beyond the baseline. Could have gotten hit right in the mouth. Thanks to the Carroll training staff for taking a look at the Delphi guard. She's going to head off to the sideline. Hope Lacey Pickering is all right.
Even in the midst of competition, I love that athletic training staffs, no matter what team you represent, whoever is closest to the action, there's always a need for a response.
Yeah.
Because at that point, it's not about what team you play for, but ultimately about the safety of the player. And I tip my cap to the Carroll staff jumping out there for Pickering, making sure she's okay.
And you know that starts from Brady Wiles as well. The experience. That one
has got a full circle moment.
Full circle moment. That one flipped up from Pickering, so she is all good. It's now a 28-point game. Carroll with the advantage. So Pickering up to 6 points. This is when you can start to take some air out of the ball.
It's when that no shot clock comes into effect.
Yep.
Some disdain from fans and other teams, but then probably back in the AAU days when I was playing, it was called 20 stick that my coach used to like to call it, and that was just a passing drill. There was no scoring. Try to get 20 passes in before the drill was over, and it was always tough, but that's the part of the game we're in right now.
Interesting. Roth puts it up. It went down, but it doesn't count. I don't think. Yeah, it doesn't count. It was before the shot, so we get a baseline inbound coming. I would think we would just call it running it between the tackles, right?
There we go.
4-yard gains. Inbound feed. Now inside Brown. The right block. She goes face up and puts it in.
It's amazing what happens when we just turn around and look at the basket. Sometimes you find yourself wide open with no one around you. You just toss it up for the nice, easy jump hook from the block.
That's what Harness just did. She tossed it up. She couldn't find Twine, though. The rebound fell to Delphi. Just about 3 minutes to go in this one. Screen right from Roth. Straight away, Roth down the lane. She's fouled. And Jenna Roth going to shoot 2. So the whistles were all but silent in the first half, and now they're coming in droves, left and right. Free throws galore.
Jenna Roth gets you turned as a defender at any point in time. She's able to slither past you, get you on your heels a little bit, and sell that contact, going to the ground every single time. And that's what's been getting her that whistle. It's a heads-up offensive game plan by her because it's been working, and she's constantly getting to the free throw line, adding to that point total.
Senior Nikita Lear back into the game for Delphi. Pickering likely done. It's Sarah Perry entering the game as well, her first run of the night. A chance to get some of the reserves for Delphi some run. Roth off the heel. In 0 for 2 trip. Harness left side, puts it in with the right.
It's just an easy game for Harness, setting up all of her moves with a little bit of misdirection. You just never know what she's going to do. She offers so much versatility in her attack. Can go inside, can go outside, can shoot it. We see why she's headed to the Western Michigan Broncos.
Harness up to 20 points now. She's still shy of her season average at 20.3, so she needs one more bucket. See if Carroll and Brady Wiles keep her in.
All aboard the Harness over
to
end this game.
2:46 to play in the final quarter of Game 1 of our Friday night doubleheader. Thanks for spending your Friday night watching hoops with us. Roth, her free throw is good. Jenna Roth a point away from 20 as well, so they're trying to match each other step by step. Roth over her season average of 15.5 per game. Jenna's second. In and out. Rebound Wagner tiptoeing the baseline, and she'll hoist up ahead. O'Brien puts it in for 2. O'Brien, her first 2 points of the night. This is where things might be opening up a little bit. Roth can't get it. Second chance, high off the window, won't fall. Rebound to Perry. Roth catches her breath for a moment. Down the right side of the lane, lost the handle for a moment, tried to go up among 2, and it was tapped out by the Cougars. Stays Oracle ball, and Roth is done for the night.
Got it going in that second half. Can go to the bench feeling pretty confident in what she was able to contribute to the game offensively. Now she's just got to put it all together, remain that leader that her team needs her to be so they can right the ship in the proper direction.
Freshman Peyton Morrow has it on the right wing now. Got a screen left from Perry. Morrow had it ripped away from Wagner. No, jump ball. And the arrow points Carroll's way. Substitutions now coming for Carroll. One at least, Wagner out. And was that Michaela Tillman that entered? Olivia Schroeder are going to walk it up. I think Harness may be done for the day, so she ends at 20 points. Carroll up by 29. O'Brien with her foot on the line. Goes back out on the wing. Saltz dives down the alley. She tried to find a cutting Tillman, but it hit off her hand out of bounds.
As soon as I say over for Harness, goes right to the bench, which I'm sure is a sentiment that so many sport wager participants out there probably keep them up at night.
Yeah, I'm sure. Front court left, it's Schroeder. Step inside, and a foul. So Schroeder going to shoot 2. Pardon, that's Morrow going to shoot 2. Schroeder was hit with the foul. So Peyton Morrow averaging 3.5 points per game at 4 points in the loss to Winnemac on the 23rd. It's set at the stripe, and the first one won't go. And a big thank you to Elijah Mash and Sam Waugh in studio. Second free throw. Got it. 1 for 2 trip. First points of the night for Morrow. with a minute 20. Carroll can dribble it out. I don't know if they will. We go 5 out right now. Tillman just cut inside. Saltz inside. Floater off the heel. Gets her own miss. Second chance, no. Fight for the board. And a foul with under a minute to go. Foul went against the Oracles, so it stays Cougar ball.
Everyone wanting to make this an interesting end to this sort of a blowout game. All of the whistles that are garnering here on the floor to end today's contest.
Into the mid-range, catch and shoot. Tillman, book it. Tillman gets Carroll to 69 with about 40 seconds to go in this one. Back to a 30-point game. Ball tipped and saved from the line by Schroeder. Tillman up ahead of the field, kept her dribble alive, but that one rolls off the front of the rim. Tie up for the ball, arrow points Delphi's way. So Tanaya Vasquez inbounds.
Delphi right at their average. It's that 39 points per game in the 6 losses that they have this year. But in only one of the 10 wins that they have, they were below 50 points. There's a direct correlation to their success in wins and losses just by how many points they're able to put up, which is also correlated to all the things we talked about that have been giving them problems this season.
Yep, so it sounds like 45 chances of you getting a W are higher.
A lot higher.
A lot higher.
Which probably means you're playing at a little bit faster of a pace.
Yep.
You're getting the ball up and down a little bit, which sometimes isn't always a bad thing. I understand when you come into a game against Carroll, a very formidable opponent, you want to slow the game down a little bit, get favorable shots for your team. But sometimes you almost, the analysis by paralysis, slow it down too much and offer up more opportunities for Carroll to extend the lead like they did with their 30-point lead currently with another free throw pending.
Yep, looks like Delphi going to fail to eclipse 40. Carroll shooting for 70, and they get it. Vasquez going to walk it up with 5, and Delphi may just chuck it up one more time. They do. That went off the front of the rim and no good. So Carroll got to 70. They are the victors by 31 over the Delphi Oracles. And our JM Marketing Group player of the game is, gotta be Allie Harness, right? Gotta be. Had 20 points to lead all scorers. Allie was awesome.
She just does it all on the offensive end, on the defensive end, everything in between. That's the leadership. And I'd like to go back to a couple of years ago when she first started playing. It was her second high school game. 1 of 19 shooting against Lewis Cass, 0 for 10 from 3. Her coach, Wiles, looks over to Kyle Wagner, an assistant coach, Dayton basketball alum, might I mention, and says, when do we tell Allie to stop shooting? Kyle says, honestly, coach, she's going to win a lot of games for you, so you just tell her to keep shooting because it'll all play itself out like it should. And that's exactly what Allie has done in her career and why she is the player of the game, because of what she brings to the table night in and night out.
Love that story from Jared Thomas. Love the maturation from Allie Harness. Kalamazoo's getting a good one, and Carroll got another win. They're up to 15-2 on the year and a perfect 5-0 in conference play. Big thanks again to Elijah Mash and Sam Waugh in studio. For Jared Thomas, I'm Jack McMullen. ISC Sports Network High School Basketball Broadcast brought to you by Day and Genda Funeral Home. Proud supporters of high school athletics in Clinton and Carroll County. By Healthy Communities of Clinton County, making the healthy choice the easy choice. And by Mulberry Telecommunications and their Mintel fiber optic services, offering the best gig in town. 70-39, the final score here. The boys follow Carroll and Delphi in a matter of moments here on the ISC Sports Network.
Some see a student athlete working hard in the weight room. We see a future leader learning there are no shortcuts to success. Some see a start to a swim meet. We see the starting blocks for life. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.